Live. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff on a Saturday morning. We have no sit-in co-host, so we are going to do a rant. How about that? We're going to do a traditional Saturday rant. What is the topic of the day? XRP, SEC against Ripple. Going into the final act. This is the last hurrah of the SEC trying to bring punitive damages to Ripple and devastating the crypto community, the XRP community. SBF in big trouble. Here's a big question. Did he conspire with the SEC, with other political entities or individuals? Did he conspire with the media, all to crash crypto? So that's a big question. See if you guys have any details on that. And Chip is in the chat. So if you guys are ready to kick this thing off, I'm ready to kick this thing off. So let's ready? Here we go. Almost played the outro. Let's go. Hey, I thought that'd be a treat. That's the long one. Let's go with the short opening. Here we go. Short intro. Let's roll it.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right. What is up? What's going on, everybody, on this fine, beautiful morning? What is going on, Chip? Good to see you. Man, we got all sorts of people bouncing in here already. So as you come in, why don't you guys give a quick shout out to where you're tuning in from? And we are getting ready. We are preparing for December 20th. What is December 20th? December 20th is the 2-year, that's right, 2-year anniversary of, guess what? The SEC v. Ripple. So can you guys believe it's been 2 years since the SEC brought punitive damages over to XRP, or I should say Ripple, but singling out and also impacting to a very detrimental level XRP. So a lot of interesting things going on. And man, December 20th. Why do I bring up December 20th? John Deaton, Jeremy Hogan, and maybe some other additional surprise guests. Now, I would like to hear from the community. So December 20th falls on a Tuesday. We're thinking about, and we kind of dropped this before, we're thinking about making this attempt on a Twitter Spaces. So either we'll do that or we'll roll it out as we normally do over here on YouTube. The problem if we do it on Twitter Spaces is that we have no video. So, and unless we can simulcast both of them side by side, but love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on that. Also, give a quick shout out where you guys are tuning in from. Now, I love this tweet. Where'd it go? Here we go. This one is from Tim. Tim was saying, I'm going to still watch you guys when I'm a millionaire. Good morning, gentlemen. Tim from a very cold northern UK. Now, Larry's already on his third cup, so you know he's fired up. Got all sorts of things going on, getting crazy over there. Mike already on the second pot. I am on my first espresso of the morning. So woke up a little late today, missed my morning workout, ended up taking the dog out, and then ran into a bunch of people outside. Get a whole group of people walking the dogs early in the morning. All right, we got Jim D. December 20th, sneak. SEC attack as the chair resigns and walks out the door. A day that will live in infamy. Now, I love that. I like that. I like hearing that. I think there is something to that. Gary Gensler is going to have to really save his own ass on this whole thing. There's some interesting comments and tweets from another well-known commissioner from the SEC, Hester Pierce, and we're going to read that commentary, see if it makes any sense, see what is all into that, because, man, some crazy stuff going on overall. Let's see. Here we've got One Eye Willie said, it was kind of sad hearing Legal Brief saying goodbye. Yep, that's it. So is it the end? I don't know. What's up, DNI, coming in from Thailand? Good to see you. Glad you guys are making it. Check it out. We have people from all over, even from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So what is up? So all right, here we go. Let's get in on this. Oh, I like this one right away. we got to put this one up. And why do we need to put this one up? Because here's an individual, not referencing Mark, but the person that he's talking about that it also has a very detrimental impact on crypto, and could be maybe is one of those individuals that SBF was speaking with in advance. I'm not 100% sure, but let's see. Mark saying, watching in Massachusetts, I apologize for Elizabeth Warren and empty suit Ed Markey. We'll accept your apology, and let's make sure that they're out of office the next time around, because we need them out. We can't have them in anymore. Okay, so let's. I'm going to start with this one. We're going to start with some XRP update. Now this came from James Filan. Then we got some stuff from. Well, we'll go around the world, and we'll kind of look at all of these things, because we're coming up. Now here's the question. As we go through this, are we really going to see an end? Or are we going to get more of the same as they continue to drag this thing out over and over and over again? So let me pull up. Got to share my screen here so we can actually see what we're talking about. All right, so we're going to start. I forgot I didn't share it. Here we go. lot of clicks going on and no sharing. Okay, here we go. So this came from James Filan. Man, Chip, it would be awesome if James Filan, if we did do, when we do the December 20th anniversary, it would be really cool if he would come and join us. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's why if we do a Twitter Spaces, maybe James will feel more comfortable with audio only, and not have to worry about being on camera and all those things. So maybe that could be something to work out. So let's look at his comment here. So parties request that the court set a deadline of January 4th, 2023. So this is fast approaching. This is the day after. So we're going to have a new Congress coming in January. And the courts are pushing back any kind of file. So here we go. Okay, so we have a deadline of January 4th, by which non-parties must ask to seal any portions of the summary judgment materials, or else waive any objections to the court's ruling on the party sealing applications. Now we're getting closer and closer to the final act, and it is exciting to see this. So I know there's been a lot of questions being circulated as to what could be a potential outcome in the end. Is this going to go to judgment? Is this going to somehow be settled? And so now what we've seen over the past 2 years, and that's why I'm really excited about December 20th, to be able to sit down with both Jeremy Hogan and John Deaton and really hash this out, because here we are, we're fast approaching. So if both the parties are now asking the court to set this deadline, how much closer are we getting to the final? Now, one of the things, at one point we had John Deaton on, and he was the last time he was on. You can go back, go to onthechain.io, check out the website. You can do a quick search for Deaton, and you can see search up the last the last time he was on, and we were referencing March timeframe for a possible end to this. So if this goes into January, so it's going to be hopefully very decisive. But obviously we've seen this thing just keeps getting pushed out time and time again. And so are we going to be at a point where that's it? We're finally going to be in front of the judge, and the judge is going to say, okay, here's the opinion, here's the outcome, here's the ruling, and that's it. But here we have, this was coming from lawyers here, right? So that they said, Dear Judge Torres, the plaintiff, which is the SEC, and defendant, Ripple Labs, we know Garland, House, and Larson, respectively request that the court issue an order directing all non-parties to submit any motions to seal or redact information in the party's motion for summary judgment, and related materials. Now, the impact of all of this, because we know that there's other things that are going on at the same time, and so it's yeah, I'm excited. I don't want to really get into detail and trying to hash this out or talk about it without those guys on, and we can wait a week to say, hey, we're going to dig into this thing. We really want to understand and hear from them where this is going. And so anyhow, 2 years. I'm just, man, Chip, you should be on here. 2 years. 2 years we've been waiting on this and going through this. Man, we got somebody on from Norway. How cool is that? So we got Karko from Norway. That's pretty cool. Been to Norway. We started in Bergen and then kind of made our way to the coast and then kind of down. I think we headed south instead of north, and that was great. Going through tons and tons of tunnels and all sorts of things like that. So Toby's saying, hi, all. I've heard SBF will be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for escape and evasion. He needs to brush up on his camouflage and concealment before the men in white jackets start looking for him. So we do have some commentary here that is going to be very interesting as we go through as it pertains to SBF. But hang on. So DAI posted this video of Jeremy Hogan. He kind of did a little snippet of it. Let me see. Oh, it's loud. Okay, good. So this will be it. So let me pull this up. I want to thank DAI and Jeremy Hogan for putting it together, and DAI for making it easily findable. So hang on one second. Let's pull this up. Let's go full screen. And man, he's got a great bar. Be awesome to hang out there. Chip, someday we're gonna make it up to Orlando and we'll go and hang out with Jeremy over at his bar here. So all right, let's play this.
So, in conclusion, the legal brief's official lawsuit prediction is a 50.12% chance of a Ripple win, a 29.88% chance the SEC wins with a possible Ripple loss but win in there, a 19.11% chance of a draw this round with a trial in 2023, and a 5 to 7% chance of something unexpected. In other words, there's a 110.6% chance of something happening shortly. And finally, when will we know the outcome of the case? My friend, attorney James Filan, says it will happen on or before March 31, 2023. And if that's what he says, that is what it is. So, in conclusion.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it here first. So here's what's interesting. Let's break this down a little bit. Let me just.
The legal brief's official lawsuit prediction is.
Okay, so this is, I find interesting, Chip. So get ready because steak dinners on Mr. B and Coining 203 are imminently around the corner. But let's just go back and listen to this one little clip here.
A 50.12% chance of a Ripple win.
What do you say? 50.12%? What?
A Ripple win.
Whoops, hang on.
% chance of a Ripple.
Not far enough. There we go.
50.12% chance of a Ripple win.
There you go. 50.12% chance of a Ripple win. And then we've got
a 29.88% chance the SEC wins.
So now how does the SEC win? How do even if it's a 29% chance that the SEC wins this thing, now we're getting crazy here. But what's interesting, I like how he's breaking this down because we're not talking at this point about a settlement. We're talking about final outcome. So when Jeremy's on here with us next week, we're going to get into these percentages a little bit further. And if it is, based on how, Filan is going, which is really cool, because this Filan, is talking about a March prediction or a March timeframe, for outcome, just we were talking about a little while ago, based on how John Deaton, was also predicting that time frame. So we're right there. I mean, 2 years. 2 years in the making. But how could there be a draw? So if there's a draw and this goes, and then there's an unknown variable, which could be, right? Because there could be some, crazy haymaker, unknown, just unseen, just we get blindsided by something. Maybe blindsided, based on what's going on with FTX. Maybe there's something that comes through Congress in January, maybe February, maybe before outcome. Maybe there's some bills that are passed through Congress, which change the rules of the game, right? Because now if they pass, let's say they pass the Token Taxonomy Act, can the Token Taxonomy Act, let's say, impact the outcome of this case? Maybe there's some other, language that's passed in a bill by Congress. Now, the question is, though, if it goes through the House. So let's say the House it will orchestrate and push through some very clear legislation in favor of cryptocurrency, but then it gets to the Senate. So let's say it gets to the Senate and it stalls out in the Senate, because we know, to push through legislation in 2 months will be very difficult, but maybe there'll be some emergency sessions and they'll say, we have to get this done, and they push something through. But again, even if it goes through the House, it has to go to the Senate. Then even if it passes the Senate, then it has to go to the president's desk. And so obviously there's many different layers to orchestrate, but could that be like something out of left field, where you just don't anticipate or expect a specific kind of an outcome? I don't know. Maybe that's way too crazy of a thought process that something like that could happen. But man, what are some of the comments here? So Just Waza looks like he's from Australia. So there's no chance of a settlement before the judge rules. A draw with a trial in 2023. A little life laughter here. Enjoy your upcoming vacation, Jeremy. Your job is finished. The tracks are laid. Elder are watching as we get paid. All right. Here's another one here from Fabio. Great percentages, Jeremy. What is the percentage that you come to Australia and visit us? 99.99%. Now, if there's a great outcome, if the crypto markets turn around, everything is going to shift, right? Because it's going to be so interesting to see how, people respond when the markets are finally, if the SEC takes its talons out of the market and allows the market to flourish the way it's meant to flourish, I think, the whole game changes. So really looking forward to that. All right, let's see. All right. Just looking at something here. Came over from what is this? How many? We've got one person over there on Twitch watching, holding down the fort. We always stream to Twitch just in case. We have one viewer that likes to hang out over there, but right now we got somebody hanging out and looks like he's posting some stuff over there. So here we go. It's Crypto Caddy. What is going on? Let's ask the SEC what Gary classified FTT token as. That is a good question. Now, what happened behind closed doors in the conversation with SBF and Gary Gensler, or SBF and some of the others when they originally had brought him in? And so we're going to go and dig into some of that as well. The public needs to protect ourselves from the SEC, and that's another very astute point. We definitely have to be protected from the SEC. We see the SEC overreach. We see the detrimental impact of the SEC supposedly doing it in our interest. It's so easy to run around and claim that as a government agency or government official, where you're getting paid by taxpayer dollars, and then you're making these statements and claims that you're doing something in favor or in the benefit of, or for the protection of the individuals. And what we've seen is that Gary Gensler runs the SEC more like a mafia than a benefit to the people, and he's holding people hostage. And it's it's just this notion that the politicians and those that are appointed or hired, these are not. If you look at Gary Gensler, he's not an elected official. He was an appointed official by elected officials. So if he's appointed by somebody, then we, the community, the people, the citizens of this great country, we don't have as much of a say to say, hey, we're going to vote him out. We can't do it via vote. However, those that we voted in, we can apply a significant amount of pressure on them and say, hey, by the way, you guys are appointing people that are destroying this great country. Janet Yellen is another perfect example. Who appoints this crazy woman to run to be Secretary of the Treasury? Who appoints Gary Gensler to run the SEC? What in the world is going on here? You got animals running around, running the hen house. And so we have to be very cognizant of, the impact when you vote and you elect someone. It's not just the elected official that you bring in. It's also the impact of other individuals that go along with, who you put in. So you can't look at each individual as a vacuum. Let's look at all the different appointed officials. So, in a very narrow band, we can look at just Gary Gensler and Janet Yellen carry an enormous amount of power. And we see the direct impact of what they can cause. And obviously there's many others. Then we have elected officials like Elizabeth Warren, or the Shermanator out in California that can be very detrimental to the crypto space. Now the question is, why are they ganging up and trying to beat up and beat down crypto? Is it because they lost their timing on it? The cat's out of the bag. It's way too late. You can't dismantle it at this point. So you can't, we see major banks, major financial institutions, corporations. There's a whole industry now in blockchain and cryptocurrency. Do you now dismantle that? And we know that it is the future. This is our future technology. It's a brand new technology, brand new asset class. And now it's being absorbed into, and we see all these, again, financial institutions, banks, governments that are involved with cryptocurrency and understand the validity and significance of cryptocurrency. Yet the government in the United States has done everything contrary to the interest of this new technology and this new asset class. And are they doing so because they are trying to destroy it, or are they doing it because they're trying to slow it down so that their cohorts can get in on a bigger scale and try to remove those that they don't deem worthy of running the space? So if we, those are some of the thoughts, some of the questions that we really want to think about as we go through this. So again, Crypto Caddy was saying the public needs to protect ourselves from the SEC by asking defining questions from them. And that's 100%. So, all right. Jim D. The fragility of the global monetary system, with OPEC flipping to sell oil in non-US dollars, Congress may rush to declare an emergency and make XRP a vital asset to national security. Now, there's a thought. Chip, look at that one. Look at that point, Jim. That's a great point. That's really interesting. Now, one of the things that we're seeing, and if you're watching some of these, financial minds out there, not Jim Cramer, and we're not talking about, we're not talking about kind of the bottom of the barrel financial minds, the guys that are, anyhow. So it's interesting. I was thinking about a great title for today, and I'd put Jim Cramer into the title as I was kind of going through putting all this together. And I said, what a great title would be when Jim Cramer says buy, you sell. When he says sell, you buy. And definitely don't listen to any advice that he gives you. And always be very cautious as to his agenda. Now, is his agenda, also then closely tied into the agenda of some of these others out there? What kind of collusion are we seeing between some of the politicians, some of the appointed officials in government, and individuals like SBF, like Sam Bankman-Fried? Are they colluding together in order to push forward a specific desired outcome? Now, here's the crazy point here. So, let me finish off on Jim D. So, so this is a really solid point. So again, some of the financial minds, we're seeing this kind of over and over and over again. They're talking about a liquidity crisis. So if there's a liquidity crisis coming up, and we're starting to, we're just in the beginnings of a massive recession with massive inflation, and we're seeing the political elites and the media portraying the inflation as a direct result of greedy corporations randomly increasing their prices. So many of these corporations are publicly traded. Are they, increasing prices because they want to increase prices, or are they doing it out of a reaction because their costs are going up? So I know someone that owns a grocery store in the area, a large grocery store, and as the prices of all the products go up, he was, didn't really want to increase, the prices to the consumer. And so he's trying to maintain his margin to stay in business. So he has to increase the prices. There's nothing that you can do, because your cost of goods coming to you went up. The cost of oil has gone up. The cost of the barrel on the open market has gone up. There's all these other factors, but yet they want to point to the greed of the corporations that are causing inflation. Yet the finger pointing should go right back to the government in terms of their policy. And one of the policy that this government is pushing forward is having a direct negative impact on cryptocurrency and blockchain. And one of those individuals that's at the head of this is Gary Gensler at the SEC. He was appointed, again, not elected, Mr. MIT himself. So we're seeing the outcome. Now, here's an individual that wants to be far, overreaching as to what he thinks his power should be or should have been over the crypto space. Come on in and I'm going to devastate companies like Library. I'm going to try to put them out of business because I'm protecting the retail investor. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Retail Investor, if you want to invest in companies like that, we're going to tell you what's good. You should come to investor.gov, and you can come to our website, and we're going to show you what's good for you. We're going to teach you how to invest. Why would you want to go to the SEC or to government to learn how to invest? When was the last time the government invested? When was the last time, other than Nancy Pelosi and some of those others who have the inside track? And if you want to help us invest with your insider information and give us the inside track, then by all means, put that up on investors.gov, and we'll all go there and we'll buy and we'll follow along. But here, again, could there be an emergency? Can they take a digital asset, or is it going to be a digital dollar, Jim, where they take a digital dollar and they say, hey, this is how we're going to create liquidity, and we're going to move everything now over to the digital dollar. And oh, by the way, it's completely centralized, backed by nothing, and now it's digital. So it's a digitized form of the dollar that's backed by nothing. And oh, by the way, we didn't really, even though we said we're concerned about your privacy, we didn't really take that into consideration. Whoops, we made a mistake, and we can actually see everything that you do. Oh, by the way, we also have control over your spending. By the way, if you don't do as we please, we're going to shut down access to your digital wallet. So is that in their agenda? Is that something that they really want to do or not? It's there's a lot that goes into this. I know we kind of stayed on that one topic there. So Scott E says, why doesn't Ripple lawyers see and desist tweets so the known fudsters on Twitter put an end to the BS or be sued? Is that even possible? This is also interesting too, because there's a lot that goes, a lot of fudsters on Twitter, a lot of FOMO on Twitter also. You get some, there's a lot, there's definitely a lot there. So, all right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, here we go. This is another good one I'm going to get to. RPM just threw in a super chat also. We got to play that one up here. But Ray the Muss seems that CZ slipped the noose. SBF and those in the shadows were trying to size up for Binance. They will probably try to blame CZ and Binance for this, for the FTX debauchery. And there's another good one too. You know, what is the battle that's been going on behind the scenes? I still would like to know what FTX and some of the U.S. government regulators, what they talked about, and the impact that they had even on Celsius, you know, because as the markets went down, there was some things that were happening that was making it difficult, almost impossible for Celsius to operate in the U.S. markets. If, as you guys remember, over the summer or maybe last springtime, I don't remember exactly when, Celsius had announced that they were no longer going to be, if you registered for their site and you move money there, you would not be able to get interest any longer. And so but if you were already there, you were grandfathered in, and they were still going to pay, interest on any of your holdings if you were staking there. What happened exactly with FTX is, as there was some concern with Celsius, FTX came out aggressively talking about, oh, we might buy them. Oh, we might not buy their assets. We might buy their assets, but no, I don't think we're going to buy their assets. And then all of a sudden, FTX Sam Bankman-Fried is spreading some information about Celsius. And then shortly thereafter, we saw what happened with Celsius. We saw the same thing FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried had done to a couple other companies. And then he ran up against CZ. And what does CZ do? As we all know, he claimed that he was going to support, and then came out and said, whoops, actually we saw that there were some major issues with FTX. And by the way, we're not going to bail them out. And that was it. So there's a battle being waged that, hopefully, one day, and hopefully in the near future, we'll actually see some of the things that are going on behind the scenes. But RPM, appreciate it. Let me before we read it, it's hard. I've got to do this both at the same time. We're gonna get the guitar, so we get the super chat. Exciting guitar. So here we go. We've got they need crypto more than we want it. They have all the infrastructure in place. Crypto is not lawless cowboy land like cash. It's go time. And that's a great point. They do need it. They do want it. Otherwise, it would be, there would be nonstop negative commentary, and you would see more and more bills being pushed through Congress to dismantle cryptocurrency. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to, wow, Chip is just like throwing up all sorts of stuff here. I didn't see these all coming in, but let me see what we got here. So Liz, and it's interesting because I'm not seeing it on this side. I don't know why I'm not seeing it, but we definitely, let me see if I scroll. No, that's so crazy. I don't see it on my side at all, but just as a quick notice, Liz just gifted OTC memberships to a number of individuals here. So Liz Taylor, huge supporter of On the Chain. You can see Liz Taylor on there. And so let me hang on one second. Liz Taylor, there you go. Thomas, check your phone. I'm checking the phone. I've got the phone. I can't put it up though. It's so crazy. I don't see it on this side, but on my phone. So we've got, let me see what we've got here. There's comments that are here that I'm not seeing. Are we getting blocked from some of these comments? I don't get it. But Liz Taylor just gifted 5 On the Chain memberships. How cool is that? Now, I don't know how you hand those out, but that's really, really awesome. So Ray the Muss was just, there you go, was just gifted a membership by Liz Taylor. How come I'm not seeing it on this side? Come on, StreamYard, get your act together. Thank you, Liz. That was really appreciative. That's really amazing. Uh, and then we've got Michael saying we have to hope they didn't get to the judges. Wow, yeah, that's another good point. that that would be that 5%. Oh, there we go. Random. So Liz just randomly handed out big support, 5 memberships to you guys as supporters of On the Chain. So truly appreciate it. That's awesome. That's really awesome. But hey, so Mike, maybe that's the 5% that Jeremy Hogan is talking about. There's just this again an unknown variable. Maybe they get to the judges. Maybe that's the impact, the negative impact. I don't know. All right, what do we have here? All right. So this came from, you guys know Bitboy. You guys know Ben Armstrong. Ben Armstrong, Bitboy, while Gary Gensler was busy botching up the XRP case to screw the XRP army, he was simultaneously meeting with FTX. I wonder why. So hey, we're not the only ones talking about this, right? Ben Armstrong, what kind of followers? He has 1 million followers over there on in the Twitter space, right? Everybody knows Bitboy, and we know that he was the self-anointed general of the XRP army. However, he comes out and he hits pretty hard, and here he is hitting Gensler pretty hard. What was he doing while he's busy, botching up XRP case? Really, it's the SEC v. Ripple case, but directly targeting the SEC in their case mentioned XRP holders. That's the upsetting part. You want to come after the company. You want to go after after Ripple and claim that they were selling unregistered securities. That's one thing. But when your attorneys in the case, in the notes, mention XRP holders and make a statement that they're not technically savvy enough to really understand what's going on, you begin to have a problem. They really look down on all of us. They really think that they're better than everybody. They think they know more than everybody. And so here's the big question. So if they believe that, right, and they feel that they're superior to all of us, then for them to go after, and they have this big case, SEC for Ripple, we're hammering them continuously. We're going to meet with FTX and we're going to do all sorts of things behind the scene. Oh, that's right. What are some of the things that are coming out in the Twitter files? There could be some, we haven't seen the evidence 100%, but we know that FTX was sending about $40 million to political candidates. The claim could be that it was as high as $1 billion. Now, we also know that the U.S. government sent, 60 billion, 40 billion, $60 billion over to the Ukraine. And then we also know that the Ukraine invested directly into FTX. Be interesting to get an exact number on how much they invested, but that money, then I think maybe it was $1 billion. I don't know. But they took money from the U.S. government to invest it back in FTX. FTX then in turn took money and sprinkled it around to all these politicians. Now they supported on a percentage of magnitude. They supported about 94% of the money went to Democrats, and that left a smaller percentage went to Republicans. But they did support Republicans, and then there is some evidence out there that shows that McConnell received about $2.5 million from their PAC. Now, what is going on when you have an individual that came out of nowhere, right? SBF, his company came out of nowhere. So if he came out of nowhere and he built up within a short period of time, and Chip and I mentioned the red flags on this, and all of a sudden he's the one being pushed. We're talking about a 30-year-old kid. You've got the Winklevoss twins that have run Gemini pretty much from the beginning. You have Brian Armstrong over at Coinbase. You have Jesse Powell over at Kraken. You have individuals that have been not only in the crypto space since the beginning for the past decade, but you have those same individuals that were in the tech space, for a previous 1 or 2 decades prior to. They have an immense amount of wealth of knowledge of how things work. And who does the U.S. government go to help provide some direction on writing legislation? They go to Sam Bankman-Fried, whose parents are interconnected politically to the left. Think about how irrational this is as we all sat on the sidelines and we're watching this unfold. It's just so crazy. So I like this. Ben Armstrong, all you need to know about SBF-Gary Gensler relationship and collusion in one chart. Gary Gensler confirmed as leader of the financial policy transition team. And then there you go. This is the FTT, right? Bitfinex. I like that. Bitfinex trading view. That's good. So this is funny. Cryptonomics. That's only just over 14x or so. That's not much. All Ponzi is all crypto is a Ponzi scheme who gives an F. There's those that know. Okay, and then he'll go on. That's so. What else we had here? Stefan Huber, the American Dream and Our Facts. 511. FTX. I guess those are FTX among Biden's top donors. 611. Gary Gensler joins Biden transition. 1011. Gary Gensler confirmed leading financial policy. 1111. FTX token starts rallying 1,600%. Brother, you're finally making sense. I mean, this is more going on. Once we get into this, none of this, these things aren't operating in a vacuum, right? What happened politically, what's happening to crypto, it's not a vacuum. They're not operating, kind of side by side in their own lanes, even though they are. But there's so much. It's so interconnected. The fact that the FTT token rallies, the fact that they take this new company and they bring them in, there's so many red flags with this. I mean, it's just the whole thing is just crazy. It really is, So, Norseman, I'm out of here. Got to go process some ashwagandha today. Nice. Send some of that ashwagandha. So, man up. Get mad, you female men. Norseman. Scam bankman. Scam banking fraud. That's good. Here we go. Ray the Muss, new OTC member here as a result of a donation from Liz Taylor. Thank you. But Ray the Muss, Gary wants to raise the accredited investor bar to 10 million. Think about that. I mean, think about what they're trying to do. They know what they're doing. We see what they're doing. If they want to raise, it's already difficult. If you want to invest in some of these startups, you have to be an accredited investor. In order to be an accredited investor, you have to have a certain net worth. You have to, there's certain things that you have to meet in order to make it happen. The majority of the people will not have the ability, will not meet the statistics that are required, or the criteria required to be an accredited investor. Now they want to raise the bar even further, make it more difficult for you to join this exclusive club in order to invest in these pre-IPO type offerings. Now, some of the crypto is that in order to get in, you'd have to be an accredited investor. And if they raise the bar from, let's say, 1 million to 10 million, the majority of the people in this country would not be able to invest one dime in it. So if they want to keep it as their exclusive club, they want to make a shit ton of money. They feel that you're a peon. They feel they're going to look down on you. They're going to undermine you, and they're going to do everything that's in their interest and detrimental to yours. That's exactly what we've been seeing. XRP for me. Good morning, Jeff. I think it's over for the U.S. due to the corruption in crypto and government agencies, while degens in the space are doing infighting. Very sad. Where's Ligma Johnson? It's very sad. It is sad, to see what's going on over here. Thomas Jefferson, portion of our population like to think only the American government is immune from corruption. Not the case. And we know it. We've seen it now, right? All over the world, there's corruption in politics, and Sarasota's in the house too. What is up? Diehard Cubs fan in Sarasota. So, one Willie, if the SEC wins, and should I get ready to cash? Everybody, let's go to Dubai, or maybe we can go to the Bahamas. I hear there's going to be some cheap real estate coming up in the Bahamas. There's a bunch of apartments that'll be for sale pretty soon. Kind of like the G-Wagons. All of a sudden, there's a gluttony of G-Wagons on the market. And the price on the used G-Wagon, the Mercedes G-Wagon market has plummeted after the crash of FTX. So that's something to think about. So Jim D, accredited investor, so much for the fake ideology of equal opportunity for all. Yes, equal opportunity for them, not so equal for, well, it's equal opportunity for everybody, just not them. They're excluded from the equal opportunity. Everyone has the equal opportunity to not participate as an accredited investor. They have the opportunity to invest as accredited investors. So they're equal opportunities for everybody else. That's they're just not part of it. So Crypto Caddy organized to approach SEC with voted on questions, larger group than Ripple case, easily done. There we go. When is the government DAO coming? Right, Hans? We need that government DAO. There we go. Man, it's all very very telling is what it is. Very obvious, very telling. So here we go. Let me open this one. All right, this is John Deaton posted this one. Oh, Sammy boy. Should you get that? Oh, Sammy boy, SBF FTX. You might want to bring your toothbrush with you just in case, because they are bringing him in. Eleanor Terrett, the Senate Banking Committee has asked SBF to give testimony next Wednesday. That's coming up. Wednesday is going to be interesting. Is he going to show up? Did he respond? I heard that he didn't respond in time. So what is he going to, let's say he's going to give testimony on Wednesday following the Financial Service Committee Dems hearing. Senator Sherrod Brown and Senator Toomey say they're prepared to issue subpoenas to compel SBF to testify. Now, didn't Maxine Waters say that they were not going to issue subpoenas, and then she got called to the mat and she said, well, no, in fact, we're holding that. Of course, we'll have it so we can issue subpoena, so we're not going to miss out on that opportunity. This whole thing is it just stinks a little bit, doesn't it? It doesn't pass the smell test, everything that's going on here. And so now, they're calling him. He's got to come in. Dear Mr. Bankman-Fried, I'm writing to request your appearance before the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs to testify in person. Entitled Crypto Crash, Why the FTX Bubble Burst and the Harm. Why did it burst? Why was Gary Gensler involved with it? Why were some of the politicians involved with it? How many politicians benefited financially from FTX? That should be a question here. It's not just about their collapse. The collapse was obvious. There's no bubble. It was very obvious what was going on there. The whole thing was a charade. So it collapsed because there's nothing there. You must answer for the failure of both entities that was caused, at least in part. Yes, the misuse of client funds that wiped out billions of dollars owed to over $1 million. I think if he shows up, he's not leaving there. And that's where John Deaton's saying the same thing. By reading this letter is basically saying from Chairman Brown is basically saying, come, you have to testify. We're bringing you in. We want you to appear. And by the way, you might just get arrested while you're here with us. You're probably not leaving, or you're going to be leaving in handcuffs. Misuse of client funds wiped out billions of dollars owed to over 1 million creditors. There are still significant unanswered questions about how client funds were misappropriated, stolen, how clients were blocked from withdrawing their own money, and how you orchestrated a cover-up. Now, that is the question. Did he orchestrate the cover-up, or did he have help from high, powerful people? Now, I'm going to say he didn't orchestrate the cover-up. I'm going to say that he had help from high places, and that the fact that FTX was sending close to $1 billion over to these politicians might be all telling. They were spending like crazy. Dennis was saying, or maybe they want to use the performance as a look at us. We're doing something. And I agree with Dennis 100%. That's another point. They're bringing him in just to say, look, see, we're not part of it. We care about the people. But who knows, right? And after that, nothing. If it was you or me, we'd be apprehended within a few days, maybe hours. He hasn't spent 1 second in a police station, nothing more, not even, So Jim is saying, Jim Leahy, he said, is it wrong to wish for a total mental breakdown, drooling and crying into the mic while spilling secrets before the feed cuts? What is going to happen? It's going to be, what types of things is he going to say? And what was Gary Gensler talking to him about behind closed doors early on? What did some of these other politicians talk to him about behind closed doors? Maxine Waters and others. What was going on? That's what I would like to know. Jim, maybe we should go figure out a way to shadow ban the Congress and Senate microphones when the likes of Maxine Waters and Liz Warren speak. I wonder if we put the microphones through a DAO mechanism and then we allow people within the community to vote who, whether or not, we agree, and maybe there's a buzzer or something, or we can issue like a shock or something if we feel, if the community believes that they're lying. And then, but all the microphones in the seat that they're sitting in is all connected, and we have it controlled, through a decentralized platform, so it's not like one person is continuously doing it, but it's, the ebb and flow of community sentiment would then be, felt and heard and resonated, So, man, crazy, right? It's going to take someone or something more powerful on the good side to balance out 100%. And I think that's coming. Sam needs to throw the corruption on. He better, but I think that they've obviously had a talking to him. But at this point, he's got to come out. There's got to be something. If he doesn't in that hearing, and maybe they will shut his mic off. Who knows? I believe FTX corruption goes all the way to the top on both sides. Yeah, that's what we've seen. It's on both sides of the aisle, because you have the establishment. Both sides of the aisle play nice with each other in the establishment sense of it, to where they hang out together. They go to dinner parties together. They go out, to lunch together, dinner. What these guys are always hanging out with each other. So how could they, so if they're friendly just because they're on opposite ends of the political spectrum doesn't mean that they're not, friends and looking out for each other, especially when Congress has to vote through, say, hey guys, we're about to vote through an increase to our income here. We need to do something. And you're going to get 100% unanimous vote from Congress. And they're going to say, hey, this is for us. And when it's for them, they're all buddies and friends. When it's for the public, they have to show attention and division. It's like this big spectacle. So all right, let's go. Good old SBF. Here we go. I got to put this one up. It's another one from John Deaton, and I think this is a solid point. My God, what the hell is wrong with mainstream media? This is a disgraceful title, and I refuse to read the article because of the title. Now, there have been so many articles coming out just like this. Just like this. So, what is the article? Where's the article? Boston Globe. Do we want to open this up? Do we want to see what this is? Okay, we're going to do it. Where is it? Where's the title? Come on now. Do I have to open it? Let's see. Nope. Let's see. Where? How come we're not able to open this tweet? I have to open it in the. It's so bizarre. I saw it, and now it's gone. So I'm gonna have to open it. Let me open it offline here. Let me just pull that down. See if I can open it without any ads and garbage and whatnot. Nope. No, it won't let me open it. Oh well. Skip. We'll skip that one. Let's see if someone posted. Nope. Nobody posted the article to where I can actually read the title. And the title, typical to where they put this spin on it. Nope, I can't see it now. All right, we'll skip that one. we'll move on, and we're going to go right to Gasperino. Now, let's see, what's the time here? All right, we got a couple minutes, I think. Oh yeah, no, just a couple minutes. So this one here. So this is Charles Gasperino breaking. GOP demands empirical evidence from the SEC and Gary Gensler that his planned changes to market structure involving retail order flow is merited. Opening salvo of coming battle between the incoming House Republican majority and the SEC chair over his agenda. It's not just crypto. Remember, I said it's not a vacuum, right? It's not just crypto. Gary Gensler has overreached across the board and has misused and abused his power as the chair of the SEC, and he needs to be called to task over it. It's not just an opening salvo. It's not just a discussion. His plan changes to market structure and his demand to do things in terms of reporting environmental issue or whatever, your environmental, whatever, what is it called? I forget what it, ESG, or I don't know, whatever they wanted to inject into corporate reporting. So one of the report sheets, in their balance sheet or whatever, has to be their ESG or whatever their terminology is. And it could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to the bottom line, every time they report. And it's just crazy stuff, just over and over and over again. This guy's got to be held to task. He's got to be held accountable. And everyone sees it. And that's why, Charles Gasperino, thank God, over there at Fox Business, he's been just hammering them, as it has Eleanor Terrett, just hammering the SEC over their overreach and how zealous they are. They're complete zealots over that, so. And then let me see what we got here. It's another one from John Deaton. Hang on a second. There we go. Sam says he can flip a switch. All these allegations that Sam took money and no one knows. Kevin O'Leary clearly hasn't paid attention to statements by Caroline Capital or his buddy Sam. So let's play this. A short clip.
Did you ask though?
Hang on. Let's put this full screen. Here we go.
Did you ask though about the relationship between Alameda and FTX?
At that time, Alameda was just another account in FTX, okay?
By the way, not just another account. At some point, it might have represented close to 50% of the business that was even on FTX.
And there is where I call you up and say, how do you know that if you have no records? And my whole point about this is all of these allegations, all these claims, all this Sam Bankman-Fried took money out, took it in, whatever. Nobody knows because there's no data. That data, as I learned, according to Sam, is sitting on a server backed up on AWS. Right now, all roads lead to John Ray, it seems. Sam says he can flip the switch. I need that data. I can't go get the money unless I have the data where it went.
Here's what. Did you ask, though, about the relationship between...
I mean, you look at that, I feel bad, Kevin O'Leary, but how does he get caught out there like that? He's investing, he's supporting, he was shilling FTX, and yet he doesn't know. And he's saying, how do you do it without data? Why are they hiding the data? Alchemist is being a clown. Or is it we got Florida here with us. Here we go. Jim D. O'Leary is extorted into being an apologist for FTX since he wants to be at the top list for, of course, he wants his money back, and he's going to have to run around and apologize and say that nobody knew and they covered they covered it up, etc. Jim D. Alchemist, you deliberately use YouTube trigger words and stream comments to keep us moderators busy. Alchemist is probably one of our most loyal subscribers here on the chain. Always here, always commenting, and big supporter of crypto as well. Alchemist is a huge supporter of crypto and XRP. But anyhow, so we're going to wrap this up here in a second. But we got D. Phillips. I really don't think SBF or the SEC used them to sway the judgment in the case against Ripple. Yeah, I don't see that happening at this point. But man, you guys are awesome. We got another show coming up here tomorrow night, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All sorts of great things going on. All sorts of great things happening. Let's see. It's hard to orchestrate all this solo because we got a lot of great things happening here. It didn't really use a lot of our guitar. We'll play that guitar actually for Liz and all the new members that we have here. We got a lot of great new members here on the chain. So you guys have a great weekend. This is awesome. You guys are the best and the brightest in all of crypto YouTube space. It's awesome having you guys here with us. The 3 days a week that we stream, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and right here, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned. December 20th, we will be doing a live stream with John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan to review the SEC v. Ripple case. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you guys back on here tomorrow night, and we will check you guys out on the next one. I'm out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.